Good afternoon, VC. Dave here. It's day after the Super Bowl, so taking it easy today. Took the car in for service, just getting some things done. Spinning some records. Got a handful here of recent pickups. I'm going to share with you guys here. Real mixed bag. Kind of all over the place, really. So the first record, man, got to see John Spencer and the Hitmakers the other night here in Charlotte. Amazing show. I hadn't seen John play in 22 years, so I was really stoked and ended up front row center for it. God, it was awesome. He still got it, and actually put out a new record with this lineup last year. John Spencer, Spencer Sings the Hits, and so picked this up at the show, and just some great stuff here. He's got Sam Coombs on synths. He's got M Sword on drums, and of course John on vocals and guitar. Real, bluesy groove, rock. If you know John Spencer Blues Explosion, man, this is good stuff. The drummer really made the show for me, man. He was really just killing it. And got to hang out with John after the show, and it's really cool. First time I had seen him was down in Columbia, South Carolina. I think it was back in, oh God, 97. Now I Got Worry tour. Where the venue was, there was a record store right across the street called Papa Jazz, and I was playing in a band at the time, a band called Jarvis, and my guitar player, lead guitarist Roger, was with me, and he had turned me on to John around that time, and he was a big fan, and we walked in, and yeah, John was there digging in the records, had a stack going, and we went up to the counter to leave, and I'm sorry if I've told this story before, but and Roger didn't want to bother him, and I get that, and it was, I was like, dang man, you got to say something. You came all this way, and you run into him in the record store. You kidding me? And John took a stack up to the counter like that, like it was like 300 and some bucks of records, and he asked the guy, the owner, would you ship these back to my apartment in New York? Because if I take these on the road with me, they're gonna get destroyed. He's like, I'll give you $100 for your trouble. The guy said sure. So he gave him an extra 100, and it was cool to run into John and after the show and talk about that time and how nice he was to my friend Roger when Roger finally asked him, talked to him anyway, and so that was really cool. And I asked him if those records made it back to New York all right, and he said they sure did. So he remembered. As soon as I brought up the records, he remembered what the hell I was talking about. But yeah, big John Spencer fan. I've got pretty much all the vinyl, so I was happy to get that the new one from last year on In the Red Recordings, Shove Music. I think that's the other label name. But yeah, great one here. And so I had a friend over recently. He's been having to come into town dealing with some tenant issues on some places he rents, and he always plays me the most interesting stuff off of YouTube. This guy's always finding just wicked music, and has turned me on to quite a bit of great stuff, and turned me on to some reggae, and now I'm kind of going head first here, and was able to find this record for a couple of bucks. Jackie Mittoo, the Keyboard King. This is an original UK pressing on Third World from 1976, and Jackie's a organ player, so it throws a little bit of a different vibe into the mix. Absolutely awesome record. This is dope, and look at this shirt. Are you kidding me? I mean, this dude. And here's the back cover. Just pimping. This record's not in the best of shape, hence the price. But, man, it's the only copy I could find in the United States. So, happy to have it. Jackie Mittoo, the keyboard king. Or Mittoo, however that's said. And so I'm going to be looking for some other reggae records here. Really good stuff. More of the roots type stuff. Yeah, there's a channel, just got John in England that I stumbled on, 6-inch pianist. I forget the rest of the name of his channel. It's like 357 or something like that. But man, he shows dominant reggae, jazz, soul. It's a good channel if you know what I'm talking about. He rips through the records. He ain't messing around. It's really appreciated. It's a cool channel. So found some other records here locally. One I did not have for my McCoy Tyner collection, Expansions. Had my hands on an original at the last convention in town and left it behind. I forgot to go back to the vendor. So totally screwed up, but ran across this for a few bucks. So this is a reissue from 1970. It was originally released on Blue Note in '69, I believe. And this was put out on the Applause Records label. I think it was part of the Liberty Records. But man, this is a great one. Woody Shaw on trumpet. Gary Bartz is on here on alto and flute. Of course, you got Wayne Shorter on tenor, clarinet, Ron Carter on cello, Herbie Lewis on bass, Freddie Waits on drums, and of course Tyner killing it on the piano. This is a fantastic album. Very happy to have it in any form. And then he also had this record. This is in really kind of bad shape, but for $6, I wasn't leaving it behind. Original Blue Note stereo pressing of Donald Byrd, Blackbird. I believe this is from '73. I could be wrong on the year. It's got some writing on the cover. It's got a lot of damage to the cover, and the record's maybe, I don't know, good plus, VG maybe. But man, this is some really good stuff, and I literally, all the jazz I had no Donald Byrd records. None. 0. So for $6, yeah, grabbed it. Yeah, recently went up to Greensboro. Got to see Every Time I Die from Buffalo. And man, I've been following this band for 20 years. Some great, just fucking wicked rock, hardcore. And one of my favorite albums of theirs from recently, I think this came out in 2014, from Parts Unknown. I don't have any, this is the first record I've got on wax in some time of these guys. Love the cover art there, absolutely wicked. And they played tracks off every one of their albums at the show. Just started with their first album, went right to their most recent. So it was really cool to hear everything kind of in progression. And this has got one of my favorite tracks from these guys on here, Decaying with the Boys. Wicked track, crazy video. If you don't know it, check out the video for that song, Decaying with the Boys. It's a trip. Wicked track, wicked drums, killer guitars, wicked breakdowns. Every Time I Die. And these guys, hardest working band on the fucking planet. They've been touring solid for 20 years. I mean, they're always on tour, period. Always on tour. It's absolutely impressive. And one of the tightest bands I've ever seen play live. Just, it blows my mind. One of those shows they did here at Amos's. It's up there. Darkest Hour might be up there for me in tightest bands I've seen live. It might be in the conversation. Darkest Hour, holy crap, that was insane. 3 guitars going nuts all at once in perfect unison. These guys are just 2 on the guitar, but man, good stuff. Happy to pick that up. And also found this same day at Lunchbox, the OCs. And this one's from 2013. This is Floating Coffin. This is the first OCs record I had gotten on CD. I have a bunch of their stuff on CD and just a few on vinyl. So I was happy to find this for next to nothing. Really cool artwork, as always, from these guys. And this is some, psychedelic rock from San Francisco. Right now they're doing double drums. And, man, Philip is just a man on guitar. Very unique vocals. You all know the OCs. Killer one here. And then, man, picked up a big stack of some Orbital 12 inches, and just, I've never seen these. I've never seen them anywhere. So I was happy to grab these. I think, how many did I grab? There were 6, and I grabbed 5 of them. One was just remixes, so I was like, I don't want one that's just remixes. But yeah, so I've got a bunch of Orbital 12s from the early 90s, mid 90s. You've got Chime, and all these are on the FFRR label. This is, I think, their first 12-inch. I could be wrong. I think it's from 92. And then got this bad boy here. Love the artwork on the cover. This one I think is from 93. And this is Halcyon, I think it's how it's said. And man, 11-minute track, and then the Naked and the Dove on side 2, almost a 12-minute track. This one's fantastic. Got to see Orbital live back in the day on Lollapalooza. They went on last. They were the main headliner after Tool. So yeah, I mean, Tool was wicked, and then Orbital just took the show over. To end the night, the lights, it was killer. That was a long time ago. That was probably 97 also. So you got Lush 3 here, and that I think is from 93, and from 90, I think this is from 97. You got Satan, and Satan live in New York City on side 2. So that's a really cool track to have a live cut. Was really stoked on this one. And then this one's got some really cool artwork, style. Love that cover. So yeah, happy to find those. I mean, it's just something you never see. So if you're not familiar with Orbital, it's just some good 90s techno. Came out during that whole trip hop era when it was the jam. So yeah, I just want to jump on and share all these with you guys. Got some serious business going down in the vinyl community right now, and yeah, we'll be sharing that with you soon. Peace.